Hey Sophie, I'm so sorry for dropping by unannounced the other day.
Yeah, seriously. Just because you're Jason's sister doesn't mean we're that close. You can't just show up at someone's house without a warning.
Don't be so dramatic. I was in the neighborhood anyway. And it's not like you were doing anything important. I just came by to talk. Is that so bad?
I was working.
Working from home isn't real work though. You could have taken a break.
It's absolutely real work. It doesn't matter whether I work from home or from the office. I was in the middle of an important meeting.
I texted Jason. I thought he would have told you. I didn't mean to interrupt your meeting.
He was at work, and you know that.
Well, how was I supposed to know his schedule? It's not like I keep track of when everyone works.
Because he works the same hours every weekday, has for the past 3 years.
Not everyone memorizes other people's schedules. Besides, family should be more flexible.
You don't need to memorize it. No one is telling you to do that. He's mentioned it plenty of times.
Well, I needed to talk to you about something important.
You could have called me first to see if I was busy or not.
Why do you always make everything so difficult? It's not like we're strangers.
It's not about being difficult. It's about being considerate and respectful.
Why are you making such a big deal about this? It was nothing.
Because it's basic courtesy.
You're being really uptight about this. Most people would be happy to have a family visit.
Most people call before visiting.
You're right. My bad. I told Mom I was coming, but I guess I should have given you a heads up too. Since I still live at home, I think it's only fair that I get notified when you're coming over too. Just some common courtesy, you know?
Coming over where? To your parents' house?
Yeah. Obviously, it's still my home too.
That's completely different. I don't just show up there either.
How is it different? I live there. You're there all the time anyway.
Your parents invited us. That's different from showing up at someone's private home unannounced.
You're always there though. Like every other weekend.
Only when we're invited.
It's basically the same thing.
You act like you own the place. You really don't. Your parents own that house, not you.
So now you're saying I don't belong in my own home? Really nice, Sophie.
That's not what I said at all.
You always have to be so technical about everything. Always following proper procedures.
It's not being technical. It's understanding basic boundaries and having respect towards others.
There you go with that word again. Boundaries and respect. Since when does family need boundaries?
I'll keep that in mind for next time.
Oh, and maybe next time, don't act so stuck up when I visit. You barely even offered me water.
Excuse me?
You heard me. You were so cold when I came by. Like I was some door-to-door salesman.
I was in the middle of something important.
What, a phone call? Those can wait, you know.
Because you showed up without warning while I was in the middle of a work call. I was having a meeting.
Couldn't you have just rescheduled it? It's not like it was the president or something.
No, I couldn't. It was an important client meeting. Plus, I didn't know you were coming.
It's not like you're running a company or anything. You just work for one.
My work is important to me.
Oh, please, like you have such an important job. You just sit at home all day with your laptop.
My job pays our bills, and I take it seriously.
Must be nice having to work. Some of us have standards. I mean, who actually wants to work from home anyways?
Lots of people. It's a legitimate career choice.
If you say so. Sounds boring to me.
Not everyone measures success the same way you do.
Clearly, some people have to settle. Whatever, I'll let it slide. Must be tough for you though. Jason mentioned you were raised by a single mom?
Yes, my father passed away when I was young. Mom worked really hard to raise me.
Like, welfare hard or actually working hard? No judgment. Lots of people need help. I'm just curious.
Excuse me? That's incredibly inappropriate. How can you ask such a thing?
I'm just trying to understand your background. It's not like you ever talk about it.
By making offensive assumptions and comments?
I'm just being curious. No need to get defensive. They were just questions. Jason never really explained the whole situation.
There's nothing to explain. Why do you care so much?
You never talk about your dad. Was he, around at all? Before he left, I mean.
He passed when I was 3. I already told you this at the wedding.
Oh, right. But, was it sudden? Sometimes men just, you know.
No, I don't know. I was too young to remember. What exactly are you implying?
No need to get defensive. Just making conversation. It's just interesting how different our backgrounds are.
There's a difference between conversation and invading privacy.
Oh, right. I just thought maybe there was more to the story. Maybe he had another family or something.
What do you mean exactly?
You know, maybe he left for another family or something. That happens a lot in certain communities.
He passed away. That's the story. Why are you so fixated on this?
I'm just curious about your family situation. It must have been hard on your mom.
There isn't anything you need to know. Mom did an amazing job raising me on her own.
Must have been hard in those tiny apartments. Did you share a room with your mom?
You keep making assumptions about how we lived.
Well, it's not like single moms can afford houses. Especially back then.
You have no idea what our living situation was like.
I mean, it shows. You're always trying so hard when you visit our place. Like you've never seen nice things before.
What exactly shows?
You know, the way you act around wealth. Always commenting on mom's decorations.
I'm just trying to build a good relationship with everyone. It's not about trying hard.
The way you're always bringing those fancy desserts and stuff. Trying to prove something.
That's called being polite. Most people bring something when they visit family.
Store-bought though. At least bring something homemade. If you can't afford nice gifts, homemade is better.
I do both, actually. You've eaten my homemade cookies multiple times.
Oh, honey, you don't have to pretend. I noticed how desperate you seemed last time. I get it. Our family's well off, so of course you'd want to get on well with my parents. You want their money. It's natural to want to improve your situation.
I'm not pretending anything. This is who I am.
Sure, if you say so. Must be exciting being around successful people, though. Seeing how the other half lives.
I'm just being myself. Not everyone has ulterior motives.
Sure, if you say so. But where did you even grow up? The South Side? That's where all the, live.
Why do you keep asking about where I grew up? Why do you need to know?
Just wondering what kind of neighborhood you grew up in. Must have been rough.
I've never thought the way I grew up was rough.
It's fine, really. Our family's wealthy, so I can see why someone from your background would want to make a good impression. It must be rough being from the poor side of town. Not everyone can grow up with advantages.
You know nothing about my background or where I grew up.
I've seen how you get all excited when Mom talks about her charity work. Must remind you of home.
Because I care about giving back to the community?
Is that what they called your neighborhood? Community? That's such a typical answer from your sort of background.
What exactly are you implying? That's quite an assumption you're making.
I'm just saying you seem very familiar with certain situations. I just think it's sweet how you're trying to fit in with us. Most people from your situation wouldn't even try.
My situation? What exactly do you mean by that?
Don't play dumb. Single mom, probably struggling to make ends meet. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Lots of people come from humble beginnings.
You really should stop making assumptions about people.
Well, you know, growing up without a dad, probably in some tiny apartment. Did you even have your own bedroom?
Not that it's any of your business, but yes.
Just calling it like I see it. Must be nice having my parents like you, though. But don't get too comfortable. They're just being nice to the helpless. They have a soft spot for charity cases.
The helpless? That's really not appropriate.
At least you're good at cleaning when you visit. Mom noticed. Must be second nature to you.
I help clean because it's polite, not because I'm the helpless.
By the way, Mom and Dad have been so annoying lately because of you. Everything was fine before you started coming around.
What are you talking about? How am I involved?
Don't act innocent. You know exactly what you did. Playing the perfect daughter-in-law.
No, I really don't know how that is a problem, and I'm not playing.
Ever since you started coming around more often, they've been acting weird. Like, they expect things from me now.
I don't understand what you mean by weird.
They're asking me all these questions now. About my future, of all things.
Like what kind of questions?
They never used to care about that. Now they're all, what are your plans? And when are you going to be independent?
And that's my fault how? I don't understand.
Don't play dumb. You're still visiting them, right? And talking about your job all the time.
Well, yes, they're my in-laws. I'm just making conversations with them.
How often? Be honest. Every week? Twice a week?
Usually when they invite us for dinner. Maybe once or twice a month.
Twice a month? That's excessive. You're practically moving in.
They always invite us. Should we decline?
Yes. Make up excuses or something. Say you're busy with work or whatever.
Why would I do that?
That's way too much. You're always talking to them about your work and stuff. Nobody cares about your little job.
They ask about it. Should I ignore their questions?
Yes? Stop answering their questions about work. It makes me look bad.
It would be rude to ignore their questions.
No, what's rude is showing off. Always talking about your career.
Answering questions about my job isn't showing off.
That's the problem. You're sucking up to them and it's making my life difficult. Now they think I should be productive too.
I don't see how me having a good relationship with your parents affects you at all.
Because now they keep comparing us. Sophie works so hard this and Sophie is so responsible that.
I'm sure that's not true.
You don't know because you don't live here. You don't hear it. Every single day it's about you.
I don't hear what exactly.
This is exactly why I'm texting you. You need to fix this. Make them stop pressuring me.
Fix what? I don't understand what the problem is.
Every time you leave, they start in on me, like I'm some kind of failure.
Start in on you about what?
They keep asking about my plans, like I'm supposed to have my whole life figured out.
And that's bad?
They told me I need to start being more independent. Can you believe it? They've never said anything like that before. And today they actually suggested I get a job. This is all your fault. They even mentioned entry-level positions. Part-time?
That doesn't sound like a bad thing. You're 25 and you're not in school anymore. Even a part-time job would be a good experience.
Are you crazy? Do I look like someone who works a part-time job?
What's wrong with starting part-time?
I already told them I'm not ready for that. I need time to find myself.
What are you waiting for exactly?
The right opportunity, obviously. Something befitting of my status.
And what would that be?
Something appropriate for someone like me. Executive level, obviously.
Like what? Manager at a convenience store?
That's exactly what I don't want to do. This is happening because you're trying to make yourself look good. You need to tell my parents to back off. Tell them you lied about your job.
That's completely separate from me. I think they're just worried about your future.
There was nothing to worry about before you came along. I was perfectly happy living my life.
Maybe they just realized it's time for a change.
No, you don't get it. Dad asked me what my career plans are. He used those exact words.
Most parents ask their kids that.
Not my parents. Not before you. This is all your fault.
Maybe they're just concerned about your future.
No way. They keep saying I should follow your example. Now they're going on about me getting a job. You're ruining everything. They even mentioned networking.
That's not really my fault. Maybe they just want what's best for you.
Best for me? I had everything perfect before you came along. I was living my best life.
How is having no job or goals perfect?
Because I was happy. I had everything I wanted. I never had to worry about anything.
At your parents' expense.
They want to take care of me. That's what parents are for.
Are you sure about that now?
Things are fine before you came along. I've never had to work before and I was perfectly happy. You're messing everything up. Dad's even talking about budgets now.
Look, they're not saying this because of me. They genuinely care about you. It's not a bad thing.
They never cared about this stuff before you started showing up. Everything was perfect before.
Maybe they've realized they need to make changes for you to change.
Well, I don't want anything to change. And it's all because you keep showing off about your job and your mom's business. Wait, what business do you do?
I don't show off. I answer their questions honestly.
You could lie or downplay things, make yourself sound less successful.
Why would I do that?
Hey, now that I'm thinking about it, I've never seen your mom's place. What part of town is it in?
What? That's completely off topic.
No, it's not. Maybe I could stay there for a while. Just until my parents calm down.
Where did that come from?
I need space for my parents right now. They're being impossible.
And you thought of my mom because...
Well, she lives alone, right? She must get lonely in that little apartment.
That's not really relevant.
No, it's not. If you're gonna mess up my life, I should at least see where you come from. See how the other half lives.
That makes absolutely no sense. There is no need to do that.
It makes perfect sense. I need to understand you better. Get in touch with my humbler side.
Since when do you care about understanding me?
Don't be difficult. I'm trying here. I'm willing to have it rough for a while.
You're trying to what? Find somewhere to hide from your parents?
Your childhood home must be pretty run down, right? Whatever, I'll deal with it. Given the situation, I can rough it for a while. As long as it's safe-ish.
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Like, there's probably a couch or something I could sleep on. Or does she still have your old bed?
You're really inviting yourself to stay at my mom's house?
Like, does it at least have air conditioning? Basic amenities?
Why are you suddenly interested in my mom's house?
Stop being difficult. I'm trying to be nice. I'm willing to live like you people.
By insulting where I grew up?
Do I have to spell everything out? I'm saying I'll let you make it up to me by letting me stay at your mom's place. It's the least you could do.
Are you being serious right now?
Dead serious. It's perfect. Your mom gets company. I get space for my parents.
Perfect for what exactly? How does this help with anything?
Mom and Dad are being impossible. I need somewhere to stay. And your mom probably needs the help.
And you think my mom's house is your solution?
Why not? It's not like she needs all that space. How many bedrooms could it possibly have?
You don't even know her house.
Your poor single mom must be lonely. And I can't stay at home with how my parents are acting. It's a win-win. I can help her clean or whatever.
You've spent years looking down on us, and now you want to stay with my mom?
That's all in the past. I'm mature now. People can change.
By inviting yourself to live with my mother? You were just being rude to me. How is that changing?
I'm trying to be nice here. Besides, misery loves company, right? Two lonely women helping each other out.
Well, isn't that convenient?
What's that supposed to mean? I'm trying to be charitable here.
Nothing. Just admiring your sudden change of heart about associating with us poor people.
Don't be sarcastic. This is all your fault, so you and your mom are responsible too. Just send me the address already. The sooner the better.
And what makes you think my mom would want you staying with her?
Everyone loves having me around. I'm great company. I can tell her all about the good life.
Right, because you've been so pleasant to us all these years.
I said I'm willing to start fresh. Water under the bridge.
By assuming my mom needs your company?
That's why I want to start fresh. By being nice to your mother. I'm such a good house guest.
How generous of you.
So you'll send the address? The real address?
Fine, if you want to know so badly, I'll send it. But after this, stop texting me.
Is this the right address? This can't be right.
Yes, that's my childhood home.
But there's nothing here. Just a construction site. Did you send me to the wrong neighborhood? What the hell? It's an empty lot. Did you guys lose the house because you're poor? Is this some kind of joke?
No, Mom's building a luxury apartment complex there. She's living somewhere else now while construction is underway.
What? A luxury apartment complex?
You seem surprised.
This can't be right. There must be some mistake.
It's absolutely right.
Then send me that address. Wait. An apartment complex? How can a single mom afford that? Like, a real luxury complex.
She worked hard and made smart investments.
But this is impossible. Single moms don't build apartment complexes.
Why would I make up something like that? It's all true.
This must be a joke. You're messing with me.
It's not a joke. You're just seeing your assumptions fall apart.
But you're from a single-parent household. Those people don't...
Being raised by a single parent doesn't automatically mean we're poor. Actually, I never said we were. You just assumed that.
This doesn't make sense. You let me think.
It makes perfect sense. You just never bothered to ask.
But you never corrected me. All this time.
Why should I have to? You never bothered to ask.
You let me believe that. All those comments I made,
I let you believe what you wanted to believe.
Well, yes, but you should have said something sooner. So does this mean I don't have to stay in some dump? Where does your mom live now? Is it a penthouse? A mansion?
My mom's success isn't something I need to prove to you or tell you.
But now everything's different. We have so much in common.
Is it? How exactly?
Come on, this changes everything. Answer me, is it a penthouse? A mansion? Does she live in the Heights?
You're suddenly very interested in our living situation, aren't you?
Just tell me, please. I need to know.
Yes, her current place is actually nicer than our house. Definitely not a dump.
Ah, this is perfect. I bet she has tons of extra rooms. Like a guest suite, maybe?
She does, but they're not for you.
Why not? We're practically family. Rich people need to stick together.
Are we family? Since when?
What do you mean? Of course we are. We're basically sisters. We've always been. Goodness, see? You can be helpful when you try. So, What's her address? The good part of town, right?
I'm not giving it to you.
What? But we're family. Upper class family.
No, we are not family.
Excuse me? After everything I've done for you? A parasite?
You heard me. Why would I give my mom's address to a parasite like you?
How dare you call me that? Do you know who I am?
How dare I? After how you've treated us? I know exactly who you are.
I never treated you badly. I was just looking out for you. How can you call me a parasite?
Well, what else would you call someone who plans to mooch off others without working or helping around the house? That's basically the definition of a parasite.
You can't talk to me like this. Not now that I know that you're rich.
I just did.
I can't believe you'd talk to me like this. After I offered to stay with your mom.
I can't believe you'd spend years looking down on us and then expect favors.
But I apologized. I was willing to be seen in public with you.
No, you didn't. You just wanted something from us.
Do you know who you're talking to? I'm from a good, wealthy family.
Yes, you're my sister-in-law.
You're just the wife. I'm Jason's real sister. Our parents are wealthy. Who do you think you're talking down to? I was born into this life.
Like I said before, I'm not poor. Mom works hard and makes good money, enough to build an apartment complex.
But my parents make more. We have old money.
And what do you make?
It's basically the same thing. Their money is my money.
You know, I've noticed something. You're always talking about your parents. Do you understand what that means? Yes, your parents are successful people, they're wealthy, and they're good people. But that's their success, not yours.
You don't understand. That's how good families work.
I understand perfectly.
Well, maybe, but you weren't raised like I was.
You've never worked a day in your life. You've never earned your own money. What right do you have to look down on anyone? Even high school kids working part-time jobs make more money than you do.
That's different. I don't need to work to survive. I was raised to have higher standards.
Thanks to your parents. You haven't done anything yourself. How dare you act superior when you don't even know what it's like to earn money? No wonder your parents and Jason are fed up with you.
What do you mean fed up? What have they been saying?
Your parents have seen all our text messages. They've decided you need some tough love to straighten you out.
You showed them our texts? How could you? Those were private.
They asked to see them. They wanted to understand why you suddenly needed somewhere else to stay.
You had no right. You betrayed me.
They had every right to know.
What are they gonna do? They wouldn't really.
I won't give you my mom's address, but I'm sending you the address to an apartment your parents rented. That's where you'll be living from now on, all by yourself.
What? Hold on. I've never done housework or had a job. I can't live alone. I wouldn't have any clue on what to do. This isn't fair. Why are you doing this to me? I'm their daughter.
That's why it's called tough love. Oh, and they only paid the first month's rent, so you'll need to cover it yourself starting next month.
You can't do this. I'll talk to Mom and Dad. They'll understand. They'll take everything back and let me still live with them.
They won't answer. They've already decided.
This has to be a joke. My parents would never agree to this. They love me. They wouldn't do something like this to me.
They already did. That's why they rented the apartment. And don't think about going back home. They won't let you in. Consider this payback for all your attitude. It's time to grow up. You're way too old to be playing the spoiled princess.
Please, Sophie, you have to help me. I can't do this all by myself. I'll do anything. So please help me.
No, I don't have to help you. You made your bed. Now lie in it.
I'll change. I promise. Just talk to them for me. Please.
Good. Start by getting a job. Then maybe we'll consider. But it's goodbye for now. After that, Madison kept texting me, but I only sent her the address to her new apartment and ignored everything else. Her parents and Jason did the same. They explained the situation, told her she needed to make it on her own, and cut off communication. Madison didn't have anyone else to turn to since she'd spent her whole life depending on her parents and alienating others. So she had no choice but to move into the apartment. At first, she couldn't handle basic housework and wouldn't even look for a job. But her parents visited regularly to teach her how to take care of herself and helped her job hunt until she finally found employment. Jason and I don't keep in touch with Madison anymore, but from what we hear, she's managing to live independently now. We hope she continues to grow and mature on this path she started.